Hi, I'm Zoe from Winchester Caravans and Motorhomes, and today I'm going to take you through how to use the onboard water tank system for Swift Caravans. The first thing to do in your caravan before using the onboard tank system is to find out where this diagram is, because it will be very helpful. We can always show you on your handover, and this diagram explains the different positions that the taps and switches need to be in to use the system. In this elegance, it is in the bathroom. In some vans, it's in the lounge. On this diagram, it will show you how to use the water from the internal tank, how to bring the water into the caravan, and how to drain the system. When using the onboard water tank, the first thing you need to do is fill it up. So you'll want to focus on the external supply, bringing water in from outside of the van. These two icons here are indicators for the switches, which can be seen here. To use the system from the outside, you need to make sure that the top switch is facing this way and the bottom one is facing that way. That will then allow you to bring the water from the outside. You will also need to find your drain switches in the van and make sure they are closed, as shown. Once you've filled up your onboard tank, you need to use the pump in the tank to put the water around the van. To do that, you will need to change these switches in the cupboard. So looking at the diagram, you can see they change position. Your drain points still need to be closed so the water doesn't leave the van. To do that, the top point will need to be pointing upwards and the bottom one will need to be pointing that way. Then you will need to go to your control panel and push the pump button. When you're towing the van or leaving the caravan over winter for a long period, you need to make sure you drain your water system down. When you're doing that, it's important to leave all your taps open, such as your sink and shower taps, but also to follow these directions here. So to drain the system, you will need to make sure both of your switches in this cupboard are pointing this way. And you will also need to make sure that your two drain valves are pointing upwards. In most caravans, you will find your boiler underneath the seat in the front lounge. Occasionally it's underneath the bed. And this is usually where you will find these yellow switches, which are your drain down valves. When filling the onboard water tank, or bringing water in from outside, using the water tank in the van, you need to make sure they're as shown, flat, so that the pipes join together, the water will then flow through the system. When draining your van, you want to make sure these are all upright. And as you can hear, the water is now draining out of the caravan. When filling the onboard water tank, you want to make sure you have your preferred attachment connected outside so that the water will come into the van, either through your aquaroll or through your service water mains adapter. To fill the onboard tank, you need to then go to your panel up here, press water and press fill. That will then fill the onboard tank. Once the tank is filled and you have changed your switches over in the cupboard, press pump to pump the water around the van. You can then run this through your taps to make sure you don't get any air. Once you have a steady flow, you're then able to put your boiler on if you want to. Whether you are filling up with an aquaroll and the water pump or the service mains water adapter, you will use this area to plug it into. This area here is where you will plug in your water adapter to the outside of the van to fill up your onboard water tank. You can do this with an aqua roll and the water pump provided, or a service mains pitch hookup lead if you want to. There are 2 inlets on this van. The top one says direct to tank. That will just fill up your onboard water tank. The bottom one is if you just want to use your aqua roll to go straight to the taps in the van and void using the onboard tank. So for the onboard tank, use direct to tank, plug in your water connector, and then go inside the van and follow the steps. That was an instructional video on how to use the onboard water tank on Swift Caravans. If you have any questions about the system, do not hesitate to speak to a member of the team.